I feel like it's a more difficult decision to just screen. I think every day, especially right after I get back from the NIH, I'm always toying with the idea of getting a complete gastrectomy so that I don't have to live in fear of this all the time. I don't know what that looks like. It's different for everybody, so I have fears on both sides.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for people like Taylor and I who have not yet gone forward with gastrectomy, like encouraging words or advice for us?
Listen to what your body is saying, and if you want to get that TG, if you want to have it out, don't let anybody talk you out of it. But if you want to wait, we all just have to make our own decisions. Yeah. You know, I would hate for someone to get a TG and then feel like it somehow lessened their quality of life. I don't feel like it's lessened my quality of life at all.
That's awesome. That's incredible. That's so encouraging. That's very encouraging. Very.
As you probably have read, the stomach is connected strongly to the brain. So once you remove that, it's like you remove part of your brain. So all the levels of, like, you know, all those good things that happen that make you happy, that make you cope, those things might change. So I would say have a mental health professional in your back pocket ready to go.
I think just have faith in your body and be patient with your body if you decide to go through with the gastrectomy. Something that I prepared myself for was like how much pain I would be in after the surgery, because I had had a previous surgery that was like a trauma surgery too, right? I was prepared for the physical pain that the 6 weeks would be. And even though the doctors had told me that, you know, you'll have to find a new normal, you'll never feel the same way that you did before, I was totally underprepared for the mental challenges that would come with that and what that actually would look like. So just be patient through that really trying stage of recovery, because it does come. And I remember reading, like, I found the support groups and stuff like that at that time. Before I had my surgery, I never looked at any of that stuff because I thought it would scare me. And so then I found the support groups after, and people would be like, it gets better, like it comes, and I'm just like, how? Like, I cannot see that I'm gonna feel better ever, but it does come. Our bodies are incredible, and it just needs time, so be patient with yourself.
My biggest advice for anybody that's like getting ready or have it done, like, don't have expectations. Like, I was so worried, like, listening to some stories, like, everybody's story is going to be different, and what might not have worked for somebody might work for you. So you just have to try and know that it's going to get better, and it's not going to be miserable forever. And each day is going to get a little easier, and you're going to be able to probably eat something new sooner than you thought. And that food becomes just part of, you know, what nourishes you, but the social aspect can still stay, just being able to interact with people and enjoy others' company and not have it revolve around food.
Right. Oh, I love that.
It is a journey. It is a lifelong journey that is ever changing. But what I will say to everybody, not just CDH1 patients, is I think that it is incredibly important to advocate for yourself in the healthcare system. And I really hope that anybody that has the means to get genetic testing done, do so, to be empowered, to be, I mean, that technology is here. It's at our fingertips. Most of us do not understand our family history or come from some sort of blended family at this point. And I think it's just really important to take that step so that you can make an informed choice, whatever your choice is.
And, you know, only you guys can decide if and when you want to do that surgery. But I hope that people know that it is not it's not a sentence for a different kind of life afterwards. It's not, you know, you will live a very full and happy life afterwards. And I think that's what I want people to understand, that even if it feels hard in the beginning, it won't always feel that way, you know.
put a little bit of weight on, it wouldn't hurt to do that.
We didn't need to. No, we were fluffy. We still had baby weight.
Surgery, I think just mostly listen to your body. You know, if you're tired, sit down and rest, read a book, sleep in, let other people cook for you. If you have the energy, take that time to get outside and walk. I just think every day is going to be different, so there might be a few steps forward and some back, and just it does get better.
Right. Yeah.
And then donate to the No Stomach for Cancer site.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how we're going to find better ways of treating this.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Having like this experience just made me realize that, you know, anything could happen to you at any time. Like this, like how short life is.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to waste like my good days being upset or like sad about something.
Right.
Yeah. That's such a good lesson for everybody, not just people that are going through this, but for everybody.
Like really and truly just living for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know the phrase YOLO?
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a funny phrase, but really though, like YOLO.
Like those people weren't lying. Like you really are going to be okay. Like things, it's hard to really wrap your mind around that, but I truly believe that my life is better now than it was before in a lot of different ways. And I am so much more appreciative of just life now and good things. And it's easy to distinguish like what's important now and what's not. And things are different, but they're better. So like
a new outlook on life. Right.
Yeah. I mean, you fought really hard to save your own life, so you get to make it whatever you want it to be. Right. And it's pretty amazing to be able to realize that. And I feel like most of us are pretty young, and to have that realization, you know, before you're 80 years old and you can actually do something with it is a pretty special opportunity. So anybody ever has questions or wants to talk about anything, I will gladly, discuss.
It's like making lemonade out of lemons. You did it
with a couple shots of vodka.
Yeah. Can you still drink?
Oh my God, yes.
That people have to really pay attention to, other than family support and knowing your family history and finding support from other groups, is getting your mental health situated and set. And even before you have the surgery, you know, finding somebody who can be with you, you know, a therapist that can be with you through all of the things you're going to go through. And you're going to go through it a lot, you know. And it's been extremely helpful for me.
Yeah, you know your body more than anyone else. And when people, and sometimes people don't want to do the work. They've never heard of that before. It's very rare. They've never heard of it. And they don't want to, you know, some people don't want to take the time. So you have to be able to do that for yourself. You do have to be an advocate for yourself and make sure that you're taking care of you. You know your body. You know what's happening. You know, if something's wrong, something's wrong.
And I love your advice about not being in the valley, but to be on the hill. I think that was so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, when you're in the valley, you got to remember that you're in the valley.
Right.
You don't think it's going to be like this forever. I'm never going to blah, blah. Just think, right now I'm trudging through the valley. I got mud all over my shoes. I can see there's a path upward, and I'm going to go forward to get up there. Because you can't, if you just stick and don't do anything different, you know, you don't, you know, do the same thing or you get the same thing. Do something different, something different.
Right.
Right. And
one step at a
my
time.
faith, my faith was definitely a big part of my journey. Not that, you know, if you don't believe in God, you can't get through this. You can, but you'll have to find something to anchor yourself
right.
that you know it'll be all right in the end. That's my faith. I know where I'm going. If I die today, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to die today, and I don't, you know, but that my faith has really got me through it.
Yeah.
I know since I was diagnosed at 32 and I really couldn't find anyone else who was as young as I was with breast cancer, I just wanted to help people and show them that, hey, you can get through this, and life is okay after. And it's okay to not be happy or to be sad or to be upset about it, because it sucks, but it does get better. And especially with the total gastrectomy, it takes a lot of time, but it does get better, and you just don't even have to think about it anymore, really.
Right.
I just think about the breast cancer and the reconstruction. I just think, like, you don't know how you're going to be. Like, everyone, I feel like they kind of happy meal it together and be like, when it's done, you wake up and you have breasts and it's going to be good. And, it's just, I don't think they take it like how much surgery you have to have when you have reconstruction. It's layers of surgery. And I think, just if I wish, it would have been presented a little bit different to me, that like you can always go back, but once you start, you have to complete the journey.
If you're in a surveillance mode, it's a teeter-totter. How long do you want to wait? And do you want to actually get cancer before you have a gastrectomy? And the whole time you're just thinking, well, I want to keep my stomach for as long as I can. So I understand the stress, but ultimately I will tell you that getting a cancer diagnosis is worse than getting a gastrectomy. So my own personal opinion. That's my own.
I think we needed to hear that. I think you needed to hear that.
Well, it's really scary to get a cancer diagnosis. And once that switch is flipped, well, now you're kind of always potentially looking over your shoulder a bit.
Right.
Take one day, one meal at a time. Like, in one scan, just, you'll find that you I don't know, if you're up for the mastectomy, you'll eventually find the right bra. Like, it's just, it's, like, it just little at a time, and just be thankful for the opportunity to be able to do it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That you're just not, because you're looking back at some family members or some people that you wish they could have.
Because it is a really scary thing moving forward, but I think you wake up from your surgery, you take a deep breath and you say, I'm alive and I've gotten through this, and now let's live life to the fullest.
Right. Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
Being patient with yourself, I guess that would be listen to your body and just make sure you ask and you feel comfortable with your medical team, and making sure that you feel like you have every question answered that can be answered.
And I learned with this, you have to be your own advocate, because if something doesn't feel right, you need to say it, especially with this, it's completely life-changing. And if you don't feel right, or something isn't making you feel right, you need to talk to your doctor, and you need to push them, to do something that you're comfortable with.
I mean, first of all, don't compare yourself to others for any situation in your life, because everybody is different and every situation is different and every body is different. You never know, like, how your body's going to react to anything. So, and like, I mean, most of my days are good days, but some days there are bad days, and you just have to find what works for you in those bad moments. Right. So it might be, eating a tub of ice cream and 4 cookies, because that's what you want.
That?
I can't eat a tub of ice cream, but I ate like 2 cookies and a slice of cake last night after dinner.
Wow.
That's
rare.
It really makes you just appreciate the little things. And, I honestly, what a great way to live. Like, if we can see it like as a blessing, like, I mean, it strips you down to just like your most basic level of humanness. And it's like, I am so amazed that my body can do this, and just being proud of, your body for supporting you and enjoying the miracle, that which is like eating a salad. And I mean, there's a lot of good that can be seen, and I feel really, really humbled to have been chosen for this journey, because I mean, it's been hard, but like all that I've learned through it, like I wouldn't trade it.
I think, yeah, words of wisdom is, if you have CDH1 or CDH1 in your family, yes, it's reasonable to be worried, but get tested, because if you're negative, that's great. If you're positive and you have the mutation, then there's folks like us out there that can help, and having that knowledge, I think, is helpful.
I think we covered most of the stuff I was thinking of. So, like I said, it was a long time ago, and sometimes I repress some of that stuff. But man, it's today is I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're so glad you're here with us.
I needed that support system that wasn't Andy. My normal support system is hurting.
Mm-hmm.
My normal rock is hurting. Like, he has always been my rock, and now he's weak.
Right.
And so I think having a trusted support system that's not going, that is a mature support system that's going to encourage you and pray for you and
not judge. That's wonderful advice. Yeah.
Nothing is definitely going to change. Something might change, but it's not going to be like you can't ever do these things again, or you're going to be so restricted that you hate your life. Like, don't listen to everybody who's had the worst outcome, because they're not representative of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
For people who have their surgeries elsewhere, I would say to get connected with a dietitian who has experience with someone who had a total gastrectomy, and to communicate with your team to address issues and difficulties as they come up, because the first year is a transition period, and it's difficult. And I see my role as helping people navigate that, knowing that it's very individualized. It's a lot of work, but we want it to support people in that process so that they feel good and recover and are able to get back to the things that they were doing before the surgery to most extent.
To those who are recently post-op, going through the first couple of years post-op, about to have the surgeries. I know you're closing in on a month out. This is a process, and you can't expect to move at anybody else's pace. And so it's really just staying true to yourself, listening to yourself, and really trying to just do what you know you can do, and be okay with being limited, and everything will get back on track in time. I always think that would be the biggest thing is sometimes, it's hard to scale yourself back. Sometimes it's hard to accept your limitations. And I would say, rely on your support systems on the days that you're feeling down, and listen to your body and respect what it's saying, because that's the only way you're going to come back stronger and better, is if you take the time that your body needs, and don't try to compare to someone else's journey, because we're all different and we all have our own, challenges and triumphs. And so I think that would be the biggest thing, is just listen to your body, and it'll work itself out.
That's great. That's great advice.
Eat to live, don't live to eat.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you implement that into your lifestyle, then it's going to change a lot of stuff. Definitely go to the gym, get your workouts in, and understand that digestion is the key. Like, our bodies are made to put things in it, but it has to come out. If it's sitting around in your body, it's going to cause a lot of toxic problems in your body. Yeah. So focus on the right stuff to digest. What digests the best for your body, go that route, and you should be straight.
I'm living proof that having your stomach out isn't a guarantee. that you can't get gastric cancer. So, but the most important thing is if you know it's in the family, please go get tested. It doesn't skip generations. So if you're negative, you don't have to worry about giving it to your kids. It ends right there. You don't ever have to think about it again. It's not a thing. Just having the knowledge and knowing what to do, whether you decide to go the scope route or the TG route, your choice, you need to have the information.
Being prepared is so important, just so that you have that mental aspect of preparedness. And then just kind of going with the flow, one day at a time. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. The food has been a big challenge for me, so I think just, take it one bite at a time. Don't put a lot of stress or pressure on yourself. And have the guidance of your nutritionist and your doctor. Right. They're very helpful. You're never alone in this journey. There's so many of us out there.
I feel like the community stuff, like, get on Instagram, get on the hashtags, talk to people. Like, I never would have met you guys if I hadn't sort of like dug around. And I do think seeing that you're not the only person going through this is really helpful during those times where you're like, this feels like it is just never going to end. And you can look and be like, it does. And people, get back to yoga and running marathons and having babies. And, it becomes just this thing that happened in the past.
Stay positive. It's a horrible thing to be diagnosed with cancer, any cancer, but being positive throughout it just helps you and your family. It's hard, but you've got to remember, like, you're going through it, but I was just thinking, well, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die, so it's not really going to affect me as such. But it's the family, obviously, that it's going to affect. So if you can stay positive throughout it and just do research. Don't listen to one opinion. Yeah. Always look around and find other people who've gone through it and get
having that support is so important.
Just so people know that there's hope and you can always live a normal lifestyle if you choose to. I've never let it be a crutch. I've never let it hold me back from doing anything. In fact, I probably have pushed myself farther and I keep myself way too busy and I don't relax enough. So I don't feel like it hinders anything other than I wish I could eat more sweets.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten tested and you're scared of the result, like, it's going to be what it's going to be, whether you get it back or not. So, like, it's already positive or it's already negative. Like, the only difference is you knowing. So you might as well get tested and get it taken care of sooner rather than later. Like, it's already there, and if it's going to grow, it's going to grow. So get it handled. And when it does, make sure you have a support system. If you don't,
Just to give yourself grace in the process, and that it's not, every person's different, and it's okay to have a crappy day, and what works one day may not work the next, or it may work the next. So just don't give up and just take time. I think people want to go too fast in the recovery, and you really have to listen to your body and do what your body is telling you to do. Right. I like that.
Like, everybody, you're on your own journey. Just trust in the process. Do what you feel is right for you in that moment, because that's the only thing that you just have to trust your process. And that's with life. That's not just with gastrectomy. That's with anything that comes your way. You just have to trust it. So.